Good morning, Krista, Connie, and Nate. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Nate, did you try to say something a minute ago? Oh, hi.
Just good morning.
This is with us. Good morning. And you have Janie with you.
Yeah, she gets to meditate with us.
At first, I just saw the top of her head, and now I saw some blue eyes flash. Janie, oh.
She does very well at being in the present moment.
Right? Such role models the little ones are.
They can teach us a lot.
Uh-huh. Oh, face on that one. Wow.
Good to see you, Connie and Trish and Ruby and Krissa.
So I think most of us are from the Twin Cities area. Yes, thumbs up if yes. Some in the general, yeah. Carissa, are you from somewhere else?
No, I am from the Twin Cities. I'm in Minneapolis, and yes, last night was a hard night, so thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, Laura. Good to have you with us. Yes, I just wanted to acknowledge this time that we are all going through. It's collective trauma. It's many of us, if not all of us, or most of us, I suspect, come today with heavy hearts. That's certainly true for me. And I had planned to do this meditation before the killing of George Floyd, and it seems all that much more important today. So I just want to explain a few things. So we'll be going through this meditation. It's based on the work of Jack Kornfield and Tara Brach. And I certainly welcome and strongly invite you, if you know of them, to, or if you don't know of them, to check them out. Yeah, they're phenomenal and offer a lot of very helpful information and practices for us, particularly at times like these, and all times, but particularly at times like these. So the meditation will be in 3 parts today. And so we're going to start with 2 grounding practices, and then we'll be going through Tara Brach's RAIN acronym together. RAIN stands for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. And I have found this to be just a beautiful model for helping with difficult emotions. So just as a quick personal example of RAIN, so you know what we're getting into. So this week, again, like many of you, I've been flooded with emotion. And when reading the newspaper of the killing of George Floyd, I was just absolutely brought to tears. And I'm thinking of the first time that happened. And I'm reading the paper and I'm just flooded with emotion. Sadness, of course, but also frustration, compassion, anger, shock, a ton of shock, helplessness, disbelief, grief, and more. So that right there, that's sort of that first step, is recognize, oh, this is what's coming up. And then allow is the second one. So, okay, giving myself active permission in that moment. That's what I did. Oh, I wake up. This is what's happening. Oh, okay, here it is. Allow that to be, not fighting it, not trying to go away from it. And then getting curious, investigating. Where is this in my body? And I noticed like butterflies in my stomach. At least that's what I thought it was at first. It felt like butterflies in my stomach. first, but as I got more in touch with it, I realized it was more like a rumbling or gurgling, and it could be hard to find words to describe it, but it's a deep unsettledness in my gut. So nurturing is the next part of rain. So I brought my hand to my belly, and I just sat with these bodily sensations. So in a nutshell, that is rain. We'll go into it a little bit more in the latter part of the meditation, but I wanted to just give you an example of what happened. And the next step was then looking at need. Let me also add that. So I asked myself, okay, so given all this, what's the need? And what came to me was the word spaciousness or space, just space. Just again, I think it's kind of a greater allowing and a reminder to me to not get so caught up in my doingness that I don't allow my system a chance to absorb and work through the emotions. So in a nutshell, that's a personal example that just came up for me earlier this week with rain. So with that, I'll invite you to find a comfortable place. If it's available and comfortable, allowing and inviting the spine to be not rigid, but just erect in a very comfortable position. We sometimes call this dignified. And allow yourself to breathe out fully. When we fully expel the breath, it naturally invites us to take a deeper in-breath. So focus for a few cycles, if this is comfortable, on the out-breath. Really letting go and thinking of that as a metaphor for letting go of anything that's not needed. And of allowing and inviting any unneeded tension to just melt away and also to be released on that out breath. And then let yourself remember a strong and steady and wonderful tree that you have seen or visited. And this could be a tree you've seen in the mountains or one on some property that you've visited or perhaps lived on or near, or perhaps it was in part of a trip, perhaps in part of your travels. Could be local or far away. Just an image and a personal experience of a great tree. Sense yourself being in the presence, being right next to this amazing tree as you admire in your mind's eye the strong trunk, and you gaze up at the strong yet flexible branches and canopy of leaves or needles. Really there with the tree in your mind's eye. Soaking in its energy, soaking in this experience. And allowing this tree to act and become as a teacher for you. You stand in front of this incredible being in the form of a favorite tree. You're sensing its roots going deep into the earth, steadying it through rainbows and clouds, through winds and storms, through beautiful days and droughts, downpours of wind and rain, perhaps covered in snow at times. Sense how this teacher, this tree's deep roots in the earth keep it steady. Just as your own deep roots connected to life go deep into the earth, you yourself are rooted in the earth. You belong to this earth. You are on this earth. The earth is your home. And it's as though you become one with the tree, or it becomes your sister or brother with its roots in the earth, its strong trunk, branches open to the sky. This is your relation. This is yourself. And in this deep rootedness, allow fears and tensions to move back into the earth. Just offer them back to the earth. And the earth can accept these energies. The earth absorbs and transforms them. You stand strong and flexible in the great winds of vast time, amidst pains and births and deaths, beginnings and endings. You remain the tree of life in the midst of it all. And absorb the quiet, steady, courageous, caring presence. Remaining grounded and rooted, deeply flexible, and connected with the force of life. And through the deep roots in the ground and through the particles that you naturally release into and receive from the air, you are deeply connected with other like beings. It's just your nature to do so. It's automatic. You are connected to your tribe. So continue carrying this sense of the tree's steady presence as you allow now an image spontaneously to arise in your mind of the most steady, loving, and courageous human being you can imagine or have known. This might be a religious figure, an indigenous healer or elder, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, a saint, a spiritual teacher, or someone else you have known or known of who represents and embodies courage, calm, equanimity, and unconditional love. Just allow this image of this person, this essence, this being, this personification of steadiness and love and courage to arrive. Feeling their wisdom and steadiness, how they're able to care and tend to the world and do so from a place of strength and love. And let them serve as an inspiration of what's possible. Let them remind you what it looks like, how it feels to be steady, loving, and courageous. And now this person smiles at you, and you smile back. And this is a smile of recognition. This wise being recognizes that they are in you, that you already carry this wisdom and courage, strength and steadiness. These qualities live within you. And they gaze at you and they send you the strength and steadiness to help you at this time. And you just take a moment to fully let it in, really receive it with gratitude. Let's let it sink deeply into all your cells, your whole entire being. Your body and your heart and your mind and your soul are filled. And this being reaches behind them and pulls out a gift for you. A symbol of just what you need to stay steady, loving, and strong at this time. They place this gift in your hands, and you allow yourself to open this gift. If it's not clear at first what this gift is, hold it up to the sunlight and allow yourself to see this clear symbol of just what it is you need to keep your heart steady and your mind clear. And as you thank this amazing being, they respond saying, "We are here with you. We are here with you." And you feel that they are inside you to be called upon at any time to steady your heart. And you drink in this possibility that you too carry wisdom and courage and steadiness. And from this place, deeply rooted with and as or accompanied by your favorite strong, steady tree, and with the essence of the most steady, loving, courageous being you can imagine and their gift to you, scan your body. Scan your body for how things are right now. Continuing to stay deeply rooted with and as the tree, with the essence of this steady, loving, courageous being deep inside you. Now scan your body again, sensing the vulnerability you've most contacted this past week. What feels most challenging? What's been most distressing? And where is that in your body? Just this is lightly, this is what we call a light rain. Just acknowledging that our bodies have been through trauma this week, difficulty, challenge. We're just lightly noticing any sense of vulnerability, perhaps fear in the body that might want your attention. Whatever it is that's calling your attention in the body, whatever lives in your body or lives in your heart, with whatever it is that arises with this invitation, whatever is predominant, simply recognize it. This is what is here. This is what is here. This is what I have experienced this week. Just gently offer yourself permission, the opportunity to open to that suffering, to let yourself feel it. Reminding yourself you're not alone. You are the tree. You are the wise being. Perhaps mentally whispering a word that goes with the feeling you're experiencing. Naming it, recognizing it. Noticing where it lives in your body. And then gently placing a hand wherever you feel that vulnerability or emotion in your body. It might be the throat, it could be the chest or the heart or the belly or somewhere else. Notice what happens in your body as your hand meets this place. What happens in your body? As you offer yourself the gentle placement of your own hand. So here we're both investigating and nurturing. We're accompanying our experience with our own witnessing and loving presence. Breathing into where you feel the vulnerability in your body, guiding your attention with your hand. And from the wisest, most awake place within you, your awakened heart, sense what is needed in this moment. And offer some gesture of care. You might ask the feeling or the vulnerability itself, what does it need? You might ask the body part itself, what do you need? What can I offer you right now? And this might come back to you in words or an image, or something more energetic or symbolic. It could be something very simple, it could be an action, but it might not be. Just allow whatever it is to be. Just notice it, take it in. Also, notice the quality of the presence you are providing yourself in this moment. The loving witness, the support of your own attention. Notice how you're validating yourself, how courageous you're being. You're not running from things, you're opening and allowing, gently tuning in, providing yourself physical presence of your own soothing touch. Noticing if anything shifts as you do this, and if not, noticing that. Being okay with whatever arises. And from this place, deeply rooted in an image of a tree, wise, wise, wise being resides deep within us, fully in touch with our own feelings and vulnerability. You might sense deep inside yourself and ask, what is my heart's deepest aspiration? What is the prayer of my own heart? in this time. What might be called forth from within me? How do I want to be? Who do I want to be in the midst of everything that's happening in the world these days? When we practice in this way, loving our fear, loving our vulnerability, we love ourselves into healing. When we keep bringing willingness to be present with vulnerability and fear, they begin to open up. Even a light rain can help bring us out of the clutch of fear and open our awareness and tenderness. And the more we develop this capacity to hold vulnerability inside us, the more we can connect with each other and provide a loving presence, an awake presence. The more able we are to do the sacred work we came here to do. These practices water the seeds of strength and love, of courage and compassion, again and again in our own hearts. And taking a few breaths to soak in this entire experience. And we will end this part of our morning together with a poem by John O'Donohue. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love and courage around you, an invisible cloak to hold your life. Perhaps taking one more deep breath in, fully exhaling, allowing the chin to drop toward the chest if that's comfortable, gently fluttering open the eyes if they've been closed. And then we'll have a few moments for any conversation, any reactions. A reminder to unmute yourself if you'd like to speak.
I'll just go ahead and say something. I loved how that started with a tree. I actually have a tattoo of a tree on my arm, and the roots say loving kindness. And so trees have always been a very, I don't know, I'm sure it's true for many, many people, but I love that symbolism of a tree and interconnectedness and the grounding of it. And the tree that I envisioned when you told us to think of a tree is we went to Redwoods National Park last year, and we stood in front of this, I mean, tree that is, centuries old. And just that sense of like, no matter all of the chaos in the world, this tree, persists in its beauty and strength, and thinking even about all the people that have passed in front of it and been there. And it was just, so I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. Looks like there's a couple comments from the chat. This was a beautiful practice, so lovely and needed this week. I too loved the tree and the wise person. Thank you, much appreciated. I feel much calmer. Thank you, Laura.
I think I'm experiencing a little bit more, maybe I could say intentionality with what I'm feeling, as opposed to feeling pulled back and forth and just going into whatever emotion it might be. At least in this moment with this practice, I feel more kind of choice that, yeah, I can get riled up if I want to, or I can feel more compassion if I want to, or I can, I don't know, be more decisive about where I want to put my energy, which is nice to have a little bit more ability to do that.
Word choice is coming to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Deliberation, intentional. I think you used the word intentionality, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another comment from Laura. Nate, meditation with a child in his lap. Awesome parent multitasking.
Yes. I said earlier, she does a great job of being present in the here and now.
Oh, yes.
Has lots of needs. And so I love thinking about that, Tom, when you were helping us attune to our own needs. What are we currently needing? Do we need to cry or sleep or eat or play?
Yes. Totally. All the above.
Thank you for the meditation today. I am finding it more difficult today to focus and relax because of what's going on. And I knew that this was the thing I needed to do today. So thank you for being here. And I really liked the part of the poem that talked about the air swirling around us. I think I'm going to use that today going forward into the day, because I have been feeling some anxiety and fear about what's going on, and just really happy to be here and be present for this moment. That's all that matters, is this moment. So thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for those words. May a slow wind work these words of love and courage around you, an invisible cloak to hold your life.
Thanks, Tom. I liked the or appreciated the very every step. I mean, starting from something so grounding as the tree, and going to a wise person and bringing that all back to us individually is, it's beautiful. And it just as a first time through, it's very useful and effective, and look forward to kind of continuing to try this practice or these ways. So that's my reflection on it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I was trying to come up with a tree, one tree. I'm very aware of trees, and I resonate a lot with trees. And so I spent a lot of time trying to pick the right tree. And then I realized that all the trees have the roots, and so I kind of did a smorgasbord. I went from tree to tree. And yeah, that was
Buffet. You had a buffet to choose from.
yeah, buffet. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah, it was great. It was great. And I at one point you said, you know, notice the place in your body where you're feeling, holding your emotions or whatever. And I had automatically put my hand on my chest, and you suggested it a little while later. I was like, it's already there. Yeah, so I was part of a Zoom meeting yesterday where we were talking about our reactions and to what's going on, and one person just kind of said, you know, and many people were talking about what can we do, and one person said, can we just feel? Can we just have a moment of silence to feel what we're feeling? And immediately all these talkers, we all put our hands on our chests actually, and immediately all these talkers started crying, most people. And it just made me think of that. Doing that again today made me think of that.
Both are so important, right? Our actions are so important. It's not that they're bad or wrong, of course not.
Mhm.
But when they're informed by the emotion, whoa, look out.
Yeah, right. So I appreciated that. I appreciate this whole thing, and really appreciate you.
You're welcome. You too. Thanks for being with us. Well, we're coming up to the end of our time. Again, it's a tender, raw time. And yeah, keep holding your hearts. We'll be back next week. Bye, everybody.